Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about the necessary laws every Nigerian citizen should know. This series will be divided into 4 parts. In part 1, we'll be discussing the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Violence Against Persons Act of 2015, the Fundamental Rights Enforcement Procedure Rules of 2009, the Police Act, the Criminal and Penal Code. The Constitution is the foundation of every law in Nigeria. In law, we call it the ground norm. Section 1, sub 1 of the Constitution talks about its supremacy. It states that the Constitution is supreme and its provision shall have a binding force on all authorities and persons throughout Nigeria. This in simple terms means that every law or any law in Nigeria must adhere to the provisions of the Constitution. Now, having established this, it should be noted that the Constitution is the number 1 law every citizen should know. The next one is the Violence Against Persons Act of 2015. This law was enacted by the National Assembly and was assented to become law by the former President Goodluck Jonathan in 2015. The law prohibits all forms of violence against persons, whether in private or public life. It also provides maximum protections to individuals. So far, it has succeeded in eliminating violence in public and private life. This law is a law that every citizen should at least have some percentage of knowledge in it, so it will help you in preventing violence. The next other law is the Fundamental Rights Enforcement Procedure Rules of 2009. It is important to know this rule because it allows you to challenge any human rights violations done against you. This rule provides for the procedures in which fundamental rights infringement can be successfully carried out in courts. Next law is the Police Act. The rates of police brutality in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. Hence, every citizen needs to know the provisions of the Police Act, as this will help them to know the extent of their powers. The recent Police Act of 2022 brought in some radical changes in the operations of the Nigerian police force and how they relate to citizens. Every Nigerian needs to know at least a little knowledge of the Police Act. I advise you go check it out. Last but not the least in this series is the Criminal and the Penal Code. This law provides for criminal investigation, trials, and punishments. The Criminal Code is applicable to the southern part of Nigeria, while the Penal Code is applicable in the northern part of Nigeria. This law stipulates punishment for offenses, and every Nigerian needs to know some sections in this Criminal and Penal Code, as it will help you to prevent them, knowing that ignorance of the law is not an excuse.